Please enjoy this feature presentation of the Crooked River Radio Network. This program may contain adult content and is intended for mature audiences only.
The story you are about to see is true. However, the names were changed to protect the imbeciles.
Ladies and gentlemen, here it is, the most listened to radio show on the planet. The other stations are tuned in too.
Welcome to Radioactive. Join us as we look at technology and life in the world around us, and have a little fun with it. I'm Pat Morrow, and
This is John Brown.
I'm Eric Manaroni.
I'm Flora Morrow.
and
I'm Dale Miracle, and this is Radioactive.
Hello, it's me, the heavy breather from every horror film you've ever seen. You know me. First I terrorize my victim by the telephone. Then I choose my murder weapon. A gun? Nah, too easy. A hatchet? Nah, I always use a hatchet. For this movie I want something very frightening and deadly. Then I climb the stairs to surprise my victims. Why do they always live upstairs? This movie's a comedy, so killing's not so easy. Sugarless. The movie's called Student Bodies, so I picked a typical American high school.
This is Mr. Peters, your principal.
Mr. Peters! You're naked!
Yes, Toby. All these years I've been secretly naked underneath my clothes.
Meet the rest of the faculty. The shop teacher, the guidance counselor, the janitor with the IQ of a handball.
What's he doing?
Sex education teacher.
This is totally unnecessary, ugly, and gets in the way.
Your mother?
She also told me that sex was bad and dirty, but only with my father. With everyone else, she said it was great.
I'm into murder myself, and student bodies are gonna be everywhere.
Dead bodies downfield, 15-yard penalty.
See Student Bodies, a killer comedy.
well, how about that one?
You're warped.
Yes, he is.
You all sit.
Yes.
You're all sitting there like, what the hell?
I sat through this movie with him the other night, and he warned me. He said, "This is a dumb movie." I'm sitting there thinking.
She says, "I don't want to watch any gore or blood."
Yeah, I don't.
Said, that is just dumb.
What's that, Keith? Who said what?
Laura, our sympathies. We
Thank you.
We sympathize.
I appreciate that.
You had to go through a lot here this afternoon, I bet.
I was just like, oh my God, seriously? I texted my daughter. I said, this is dumb. And she texted back, laughing my ass off. I knew you were going to say that. You know your mother. Oh my God. So I apologize for that. I had nothing to do with it.
Just another one of my repertoire.
Yeah, something like that. He's your friend, Keith. Just remember.
I'm thinking about renegotiating that.
I'll tell you what. I'll double what I pay you.
Yeah.
Oh, gee, thanks.
Gee.
So instead of 1 0, I get 2 zeros.
Yeah.
Well, two's better than none. Not much. Anyway, good evening, everybody. Welcome to our little get-together here. We got some quite a bit of action. Right? Quite a little show we're going to have tonight. If anybody watches us on a regular basis, you'll remember Tamia and Tim Woods. Almost did it. Cut myself. And they're coming. I invited them back to kind of catch up with them, see how everything's going since we talked to them last. And we've also got another guest in that she's been. From what I remember, there was something that. In fact, Keith, why don't you tell us why Christy's in it? Or she can too if she wants to.
Whoever wants to talk.
Hello.
Hello.
Chris.
Well, Christy has gone through something very similar to me and Tim, with her son, my great nephew, actually. And it just happened to be, Pat was mentioning this week that he was doing the show. I said, oh, it would probably be good for my niece to get in on it.
Well, she's welcome, and everybody else is too, even you.
I think.
Oh, well, thank you for welcoming me.
I think what Pat or Keith was thinking was that maybe, hopefully, Tamia and Tim might have some, with everything you've been through, that, might be able to help her maybe find some avenues to go to or something.
That's what I was kind of thinking.
Yeah.
Thank you, Flora.
You're quite welcome, Keith. Anytime.
You should produce this show.
Yeah.
I'll pay you triple what I'm paying.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Ooh, you get 3 zeros.
Keith gets 2 and I get 3.
Anyway, let's actually go to Tim and Tamia. What have you guys been up to since the last time we talked? Which was, a couple of years ago, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. You want to go first, Tim? Now chime in and fill in.
Well, let's see. We've been up to a lot of things. We still go into different schools and speak to the children and faculty. We have our annual run every year in the summertime still.
We're giving away over $32,000 in scholarships in regards to that.
Oh, wow. That's wonderful.
Yes.
And we work with the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children as consultants. So we go out there every so often and have a lot of Zoom meetings with them to help with a lot of their wordings and whatnot that they pass around the country. Let's see,
we have our first gala coming up on January 17th. We have a book that is coming out so we have 2 books. So one of the books that are coming out is we're going to actually have a whole book release with 10 of the poets who donated poems to the book will be there to recite, and a band and everything. And that book is called Poetry on Purpose. We have, at first we were saying all over the United States, but we actually have people from other countries that donated poems as well into the book. And it's all about mental health. So whatever their interpretation is with mental health, they wrote a poem about it, and we put it into a book. It's called Poetry on Purpose, and that will be out again on November 15th, and after the proceeds go to the foundation. And then we also have our personal book that's coming out, and that is called Over the River and Through the Woods. And is basically I don't want to say our life story, but it touches on different avenues throughout our life, including what happened with James, but also after and how we're dealing with it, and the human aspect of dealing with the loss of your child and the grief behind it, and what we chose to do with it.
Yeah, I can certainly relate to that. With what's happened in my past, if it wouldn't have been for a counselor, I don't know where I'd be right now. The thing, I don't know if you know my history or not. I'm not going to dwell on it, but my wife passed away the 21st of April 2006, and we had been together for 23 years. It was like somebody just ripped me open and turned me upside down. And then over the last even couple of months, I've lost friend after friend, and including my son now. He died the first of I think it was the 30th of August.
29th of August.
29th.
Yeah. I saw that, and I my prayers go out. I hope you all saw our message to you, and I said a little prayer for you as well.
And I appreciate that. But the thing you learn with stuff like this, first of all, you learn to take and build. You want to build a wall around you. At least that's what it feels like. And if it wasn't for the counseling that I've been through, which I've had health issues in the past that I had some surgery for cancer back in 2022, December, and you all of a sudden you want to build this big old wall that you can't be penetrated through, and so you ignore a lot of it. And it's funny you mentioned the poetry there, because in the worst times of my life, that's one of the ways I've gotten rid of it. I don't have anything written down that I know of at the moment. I'd have to look through the house. But the cool part about it, though, is you get your mind off of it. It gets your mind out of the worries of it. And unfortunately, I had to have a psychologist talk to me, and I've had her for about a year now, and she's helped me break through some of it. What's really weird is when something happens to you, you start asking, why in the hell is this happening to me? God, what are you saying to me? And sometimes there isn't an answer right off, but then again, sometimes there is, and it helps you out. And I'm sure that most of the people that's ever been through any of this has got to see it the way I do. As I've gotten older, I've gotten a different perspective on life. You know, I used to be your disciplinarian father, husband, and whatever. And all of a sudden we switched around now. I'm more laid back than I've ever been. And it just, until when I had that wall built up, there was nothing that could hurt me. And even to now, with my son passing, I've grieved it to a point, but I don't think I'm done yet. Nobody realizes how fragile life is. Anyway, as far as how's the website and stuff like that going for you? I take it you're still with the thing I've got posted on the Crooked River site? Let me see.
It should be.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, it should be what you have. I'm not sure.
Yes. So our website stays the same.
Okay.
Yeah. So you're talking about the www.letsdoitforjames.com. Let's DIFJ.
Okay.
Yes.
I was trying to remember when we first gave them the.
Yes. Yes. That we met when we first really was getting off on a lot of things early on.
We met you like right at the beginning of everything that we first started really doing.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny how stuff like that brings people together too.
Yeah.
We've had a number of guests on the station here, and everyone's different. The professionals are profoundly good, and then you got the others. We had John Tellage from Channel 8 Sports one time. And I could not believe how professional this dude was. But he did he did TV every night,
Mm-hmm.
And then I guess it's whatever it takes to get the point across. And, But you mentioned the what do you got coming up as far as the gala, Matt?
The gala is on January 17th. It will be our 3-year anniversary. It's at House 330, which is the LeBron James building. So we're honoring a lot of people that day, reflecting back on the last 3 years of what all we've been through and how we got to where we are today. It's going to be a really, really good time. Got a nice band coming in and nice food, nice scenery. Just a really, really good time. Time to dress up and look nice and feel ourselves.
If you get a chance, text me or whatever. If and when you ever want anything on our Facebook page. I'd be happy to do that for you. Our listenership has come up way up since the last time you and I talked.
Congratulations!
Yes, it's a good show.
We're hitting somewhere about 100 people a time.
That's good.
Doing stuff. I'm enjoying it. I don't want to break my arm, pat myself on the back. Yeah. So I'll let my wife do it.
No, it'd be better if you pat yourself.
Yes.
And I'm in trouble too.
Tim knows. Yes.
But congratulations.
Thank you.
I was going to say, as far as the gala you talked about, and if you said and I missed it, I'm sorry. I wasn't feeling very well a little bit ago. So, is it like a fundraiser kind of thing too? Is that what it is?
Yes.
Okay. So in other words, there might be tickets out there to be purchased and.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. It's actually live right now on Eventbrite. You can purchase your ticket on Eventbrite.
Okay.
I'll make sure that I email you or text, or I think we talk on. Yeah. Pat, you and I talk via Facebook.
Yeah,
or I'm Flora too. I am now. I'll send it to you all and make sure that you all have it in the links.
Okay.
So that you can.
Okay. I can't promise anything, but I just, I was thinking that that may have been what it was about too. So.
Are you? I think the last time we talked, I don't remember if I asked you this question or not, but are you 501c3?
Yes, we are.
That's the best way to be. That way, we do a lot of. I had to form another club because I'm an amateur radio operator, and I got tired of the old one, and they pretty much kicked me out. So, I was. At first, it started out vengeful. Now it's just a lot of fun.
Just a tad. Wouldn't you say, Keith, just a tad?
Keith, don't you think it was just a tad?
A tad vengeful?
Yeah.
Yeah. it still might roll around that way sometimes too. But anyway, we won't go down that road.
Yeah, just like we won't talk about the Browns tonight.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The Browns. Oh, I'm sorry.
Every year, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Well, you should be used to it, Pat.
I forgot they were playing the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Well, I'm gonna let you guys know my team is just as bad as the Browns. So
You're Dallas, right?
I'm a Vikings fan.
Oh, okay. We're all on the same boat.
Well,
Yeah.
it was funny. Michael Gersh posted this afternoon about the fact that both the Browns and his team, the Jacksons?
The Dolphins, I thought.
Dolphins. And
Miami Dolphins.
They're both the same thing. He goes, he wants to know at the next game who's going to get so mad and shut the TV off and everything first. Is it going to be, which one of them is it going to be?
I've come close to putting my foot through a TV about the Browns.
So my mother-in-law, she sews and she comes up with different things that she creates. And she has these Browns dice thing. And so when you get mad, you can just throw it at the TV and it doesn't damage anything. But you can get your frustration out. You can just throw it.
I'd enjoy that.
Yeah, I'm going to have to get her to make you some, Pat.
Or get one of those sponge bricks.
Yeah, there is just no helping them.
Yeah.
Every year it's the same thing. Now they're gonna be lucky to win 2 more games this year.
I'm sure they'll win too.
If you would have watched this game today, they got clear down to the 2-yard line, which they've got that Junkins kid that was he's a running back, and he could have powered through that line like nothing. They decided 3 times that they didn't want him in there, so he made him pass. And at the second pass, they got a 10-yard penalty that put him back to the 12-yard line.
We'll talk about that second.
Yeah, certain teams do stuff like that. They got something, but they want to go away from it to make the other guy look good. They just don't have the guy to do the job to look good.
Yeah, I just don't know. I know part of the problem is the management of that team, and a lot of it's the play calling, which was given back to Stefanski this year. And look at what he's doing with it. I think if he doesn't come up with a winning season this year, I'm pretty sure he's going to be gone. Which on to bigger and better. We've had 41 quarterbacks since we came back in 1999.
That's a real number.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah, that's a real number.
Yep, it's a real number.
They had 8 of them this year alone.
I know. 10,000 quarterbacks. I'm like, what are you going to do with all of that?
I think what will solve you guys' problem is if you get a dome.
Yeah, well,
that's solve all.
Okay.
Yeah,
it'll make it to where more players will want to come here in free agency because nobody wants to be in the snow all year long. But you put a roof over their head while they're playing, the elements don't beat them up as much. They can at least get 1 day off from the other 6. So,
can I interject here? How do you explain Green Bay?
So Green Bay
never had 13.
Green Bay is different though.
Oh, come on. No, never.
Green Bay started off winning, so they built up that culture to where everybody's okay with it. The Browns never won.
This version, no, but in the
before the Super Bowl don't count though.
Tell us the narrative here. You're the one that saw all the great ones.
Well, back in the 60s and 70s, they were pretty good. I've been watching them since '64. And
he's been watching it since longer.
You've had some ideal coaches, and you've had Paul Brown. He was pretty good until he went to form his own team in Cincinnati. And then you had Marty Schottenheimer. He was pretty good. But he had a quarterback and a line. I remember every year you could count on them at least making a playoff. They'd make the playoffs until you had a red right 88 or the fumble or
Ernest Bynum.
Yeah. Well, I'm getting to really like you, Tim.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Yeah,
there is a Saturday,
I know a lot of the history.
I was going to say there is a Saturday show that they talk about sports.
We do. You're welcome to come in if you want. I'm looking for
putting in a shameless plug for Saturday.
Hey, it's your show. You plug everything you want.
I have.
I will check it out.
I have two guys from Dallas, or they're Dallas fans, and my son used to be a Dallas fan too. And we talk about pretty much everything. Like this next week, I can guarantee you there's going to be this one thing that's going to be played. Hang on a second.
Uh-oh.
Where are you?
What are you doing?
You're going to hear.
All right. I think we need to reel this show back to what we was doing.
Yeah.
I hate to be that way, but
there's that producer again.
Yeah.
Where's my whip?
I'll give you a whip, all right, buddy.
Yeah. Promise is promise.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's invite the rest of these people that have anything to say.
I was going to say, why don't we start?
Yes, Flora.
Huh?
Flora, go ahead.
I didn't. I was interrupting you. I didn't mean to.
Oh, you're fine. You're fine. I was just going to say maybe we could start with Christy. We don't know how long she can be in and everything too. So,
yeah.
Okay. Is that okay, Christy?
That's fine.
Okay.
Why don't you? Can you give us a little background on what's been going on with you?
Sure. So, starting the beginning month of September is when my son started getting pretty much told that he was going to be jumped. He was getting text messages in regards to it. I was turning them into the school. I was calling the school. Like, I've got a stack of emails. Towards the end of the month, he was getting gun photos sent to him. During this time, the school did not fill out any paperwork to the school board. But the school did tell me multiple times that maybe this isn't the school for my child. And then when my son did attempt to harm himself, the school counselor called me 2 hours after a different high school did and told me that maybe this school wasn't a fit for him. They have a zero tolerance policy at this school, but the zero tolerance policy, the way that it is worded, literally leaves it open for interpretation to each individual principals within the schools and within the district. So if they want to classify it as horseplay, or as this school likes to say, there was no verified evidence because you blocked the students' names that were telling about it, and we couldn't verify it, even though particular students were mentioned. That was making the harassment. But because the reporting students' names were left out of it, that was their reason for not moving forward. There were some suggestions from some of these students that they were being threatened with school suspension if they didn't say stuff about my kid for 10 days. There was a lot within this district. I was on the phone with the school board since I think maybe like between the 8th and the 11th of September, all the way up until like a few days ago when I pretty much told them where they could take it and shove it. Not one person contacted me, not one person cared, and it took them 30 days to tell me that the SRO officer at the school should have been notified and that a bullying report was never filled out. I have email messages from the the counselors there that said, I never knew this.
He never knew it.
He never knew it. The school principals never told that. It includes your upper principal and the principal that takes care of his grade.
So I got a couple of questions for you, Christy. So
I have a couple of answers.
So the original, like the initial contact that your son had, was that made online?
That was made through a text message.
A text message.
I even contacted the school and police.
And what did the police say?
So the police told me to make a safety plan with the school, right? And so I did. When I made a safety plan, the school waited 5 days to even do that safety plan and have that meeting. The police department told me to keep my son out of school up until that meeting, hoping that meeting would allow parents and the principals and the student counselor there to have a communication on what we can do to make sure not only my son was safe, but none of the drama was escalating, right? Because that's what we all want. We want a safe school for all of our kids to go to. We don't want the kid that's being threatened to feel like he has to protect himself. And we don't want, you know what I mean? We don't want the kid that's being threatened to not attend school, right? And he wants to be able to be at school safely, not worry about, oh, what happens if I walk to home school or walk to school or walk home from school? What's going to happen in the hallways? What's going to happen with classes? I requested for students to be removed out of his classes. They decided to remove my son. So my son's schedule got switched not once, but I think it was a total of 3 times.
Jeez. That's insane.
Yep.
So the person who was threatening him was an actual student at your school, at his school?
3.
3 of them?
3, at least 4 names that I gave the school.
Okay. And most of this was via text message. It wasn't like on a social media app or anything of that sort.
I don't know what you guys call social media. Some of it came through Instagram. And some of it came by text.
Okay. That's what I needed to know. To try to get you some outside resources when it was, because a lot of what we have are like social media, basically internet crimes against children. So I had to figure out where exactly it was coming from initially to find the proper resources for you. I definitely want to get your information to see if I can find some other people outside of your police department that can actually help. You think that internet crimes?
What state are you in, Christy?
Ohio, where your guys' gala is. I ain't too far from there.
Oh, okay.
Commander Day.
Yeah, I think that's Commander Day. If you don't mind, like, I don't know if we could help you or whatever, but we do have a couple of resources that we could use that is outside of the district of your police that has more resources, especially when it's crimes online and with children.
Currently, my goal is so I have been trying to reach out to, here's the hard part, with the government shutdown, it makes departments really hard to get in contact with because my son being dyslexic and on an IEP, you need to contact other departments as well, and they are shut down currently, so they're not even taking phone calls. I have chased my brain to the point of trying to find civil rights within education. You want to know what happens with that? Those lines don't work. You can call Washington, you can get all the lines you want. They do not work right now. I don't know why they're dead lines.
Shut down.
They're shut down, or they're just dead lines and they don't exist anymore. I don't know. I have spoken to an attorney who is supposed to hand me a number, but I haven't heard back from him yet. I got to reach out with him on Monday because this was like Friday evening that I spoke to him to see if all of my emails in case holds weight with the school. Because if it does, I'm sorry, the school system just got sued this year for the same stuff, the same policies that they have in place that they do not use. They have not changed one single policy since a student lost their life last year. Not one policy has been changed.
When you went to the police station, they didn't say anything about being able to contact the people that was making the threatening remarks to your child?
So what, I can't get into a whole lot of detail out here. Keith knows, but the people that were involved, there is a order on my son with a message that I can't even find. So like So supposedly, my son got suspended for standing up for himself, and he told his principal, look, I stood up for myself because I figured it would stop, right? So I fronted the person, like I figured it would stop, right? He went from a 1-day suspension, all of a sudden 3 hours later I get a phone call, because this is how the school does this. 3 hours later I get a phone call after I report something, and all of a sudden there's something else there. That my son supposedly sent something through a chat, like an Instagram. I can't find it. I downloaded data. I requested data from Instagram. I can't find this message. But what I did find was a website that can be used for influencers, that you can create your own false ass screenshot Instagram messages. Mm-hmm. So then the school took whatever screenshot they had, no other conversation, just a screenshot, and a private photo of my son at my own property, and put those two together to use against him.
Wow.
Yeah. So I
have a stack of emails, no joke, this thick, since September 3rd.
Yeah, they should be able to look at the emails and see, or the correspondence, and see which internet provider it came from and where that's located and who the person is that sent it. But that's a lot of work.
The day that they told me about the 1-day suspension, and 3 hours later they changed it to 10-day, they literally told me flat out, we can't confirm that this came from him. But because there's this picture on your private property, right, we have to put the 2 and 2 together. But we're going to do our due diligence on this, but we're not going to do our due diligence on the almost book-size emails that I have with text messages that were sent, gun photos that were sent. You know what I mean? Like, we're not going to do nothing with those. And they were sent to the board. They were sent to the school. They were logged into the police department.
Yeah, I would talk to your lawyer and get him or her to really go after that school. It seems like they're not going to make any changes unless they just keep getting penalized to the point to where it's too expensive.
Something's got to give. It honestly does. Mm-hmm. And then you hear a bunch of other parents from the same districts over here with the same stories.
I know you can't say what school he went to, correct?
Oh, I can say what school.
Okay, what was it then?
East CLC over here.
East High School.
What's
East
that?
High School.
Oh. Because I was going to say my 12-year-old granddaughter had trouble at the LeBron school. We ended up having to get her out of there because she was being bullied over there. And the teachers and stuff weren't. She has the, what do they call it? The learning disability, whatever. And they weren't doing what they were supposed to do. She ended up coming back to Betty Jane, and started thriving. She's at higher now, so she is doing very well now. But that's why I was wondering when you said you live close to that school. I thought maybe, but oh my, wow.
You know,
I just
go ahead.
Do what?
Go ahead.
I said I just pulled him from this one, and even though he's going through like different treatments and things like that, so that we could get back on track on our end. Like, I even told the board that. I'm like, hey, because they want to do their disciplinary meeting. I'm like, so I can't attend that right now because of, X, Y, and Z. And they're like, well, we still have to continue whether you're here or not. And I'm like, but you guys know what just happened. Like, you guys know. Like...
Yeah, that's a terrible situation. I would definitely stick with the lawyer and have them do their job. And I would tell the child to always keep standing up for himself, because you can't just sit there and take whatever somebody wants to give you, especially if it's harmful. That has a problem. They have a serious problem.
They don't realize that. Like, the day I had a parent-teacher conference with them, right? This was back in September, and she got mad at me because I called their school ghetto. Well, it was like 3 hours out, 3 hours again after one of the calls that I sent text messages and stuff to, and she calls me like, well, all these students are saying X, Y, and Z. Of course, it's the same students, right? And that we're having issues with or whatever. And I'm like, you guys' school is so ghetto. So I go to this school meeting, and this person feels like I'm attacking their character, right? And I'm like, she's like, you probably tell him all this horrible stuff about our school. I'm like, no. I'm big on education. Don't get that twisted. I said, I wasn't even around my kid when I called your school that. That evening, they had a gun on their property after a football game. And one of the students discharged it over a dispute at the football game. And I'm sitting there thinking, you guys don't realize how much of a big problem you have. I call the schools down here a school to prison pipeline. And that is the school to prison pipeline is, it falls unfortunately with a lot of your IEP kids and your disability kids and the kids that, just struggle. And it is, let's get these kids out of our school districts. Let's punish a lot of them. Let's do this, let's do that. And then they end up in systems in different ways. It's a school to prison pipeline. And the school systems out here where I live actually fall in place with the school to prison pipeline. Statistically, and I can see exactly why they fall that way. And these are schools that I went to school when I was a kid.
That's sad.
It is. Because you're setting your kids up to fail, and that's where a lot of these kids don't reach out to anyone or say anything, because when they do, it falls short. And we got to figure out how to combat against that. As we asked a lot of kids, even the resources that are out there for them, we asked if they believe that the resources are for them, and they told us no.
No, my son said the same thing. He messaged me one day when he was still in there, and he's like, I don't even know why I try. He's like, because they do nothing. They do absolutely nothing. I have so many stories from other parents within these districts over here that say the exact same thing. Their kids have told them that these schools do nothing. But hey, if you're a straight A student and all this other stuff, right, you're golden. But be a struggling student.
Because you bring in the money.
Oh, well, here's the other thing. IEP students bring in their Medicaid and all their money. And if all these parents were to jerk all their IEP kids out of these schools over here, man, that's millions.
Would drop. Yep.
Yeah, and then they wouldn't have anything. This school just lost, from my understanding, they just lost their automotive department because they fired the automotive department teacher. So the kids that are supposed to be taking the career center down there, at last I knew, had no automotive classes.
How old is your son, Christy?
Oh, he just turned 16.
16.
Yeah, that school has problems. They're not helping the people that need help. It sounds like they're playing favorites. If you're going to take the bullies and protect them and then punish the other. Did any of the other people involved in this get suspended or just your son?
No, just mine. Mine is the only one that's ever been in trouble, and that's because it's the cry wolf scenario.
Yeah, that's a bad culture.
Trust me and understand, we're all parents or have been parents and, things like that. None of our kids are ever 100% innocent.
Oh, no.
We know that. Yeah.
None of them. But he's a pretty decent kid. Like, I know if I put him out in the world, he's going to hold doors open for little old ladies. I've seen it before. You know what I mean? Like, he felt bad for the lady at the store today who was disabled because he wanted me to turn my car back around to go help her put her stuff in her car. I just was at a point where I was not able to turn back around. You know what I mean? So, like, he's got a good big heart. It's just, I look at it like this. I always think of these kids like a balloon, and adults too. A balloon can only handle so much air put in them before they pop. And if you continuously put all of this pressure on these kids and they have to deal with all of this stuff and you're not changing your policies, you're supposed to be a zero bullying, policies here, right? Zero tolerance, and you continuously added air into it, they're going to pop. Well, he popped and confronted, and then it just spun out of control. And like I said, it's like clockwork. 3 hours later, get a phone call.
Have you ever considered homeschooling him?
So I am trying a charter school, which is a very highly talked about school. He can actually graduate quicker than he would in regular high school. He will take a different career path temporarily until he gets into welding at Stark State, which I remember right, Stark State's covered under my job, so I won't have to take out student loans ever for him.
That's good.
Yeah, that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
So, and he knows that, and he was like, "Oh, I can graduate in a year and a half." He's like, "And can I start that immediately? I don't have to wait till I'm 18." I'm like, "Once you have your diploma, you can go into college."
Yep. Yeah, they'll take you at any age as long as you're graduated.
Yep. And I'm like, so it'll be perfect for you. Because from my understanding from the welding teacher, he's a natural at welding.
You gotta speak to what he likes too.
Yeah, I hate to hear stories like this. I remember when I was in school, it was a long time ago, and a lot of times the teachers, they had their favorites. They had the people they didn't like. They had the people they somewhat did or didn't like that they were mainly neutral. But every teacher had their favorites. Every principal had their favorites. And it showed a lot of times when it came to disciplinary action.
Oh, yeah. I was always the neutral kid. I was never the favorite kid. I did my work. I got my A's and I left.
It depended on what class it was for me. I could have been on either end of the spectrum.
And I definitely was not my gym teacher's ever favorite because I was always trying to wiggle out of gym class.
I'm probably the only person that ever got F's in phys ed. So, and you talk about teachers not liking you. Now, when I was in 7th and 8th grade, I got C's and then B's. I went to high school, and my freshman year, I got D's and I got F's. It was like, I hated phys ed. I'm not athletic. Don't make me do nothing. Now, dadgummit.
In phys ed class, all you have to do is just show up and try. You don't have to be good at it.
No. Not at my school. I had to wear these stupid uniforms and yeah, it was just awful.
We had to square dance in my gym class.
Oh.
So please explain to me when a bunch of ninth graders are doing square dancing.
We did that. It's to keep you active, though.
We did that at Betty Jane.
Where am I ever going to use square dancing at?
Well, it's not necessarily the square dancing. It's just being active and getting your body moving. Just participation.
You're not going to convince me.
No.
I could really step in here, and I'd probably embarrass one of my daughters. Those teachers doesn't like me. No teachers like me. Back in when my daughter was in middle school, she was getting D's and F's. Her mother and I had separated a couple of years before, and she was getting on the lazy side. So, and I knew this. She's a smart kid. So I took and I saw the report cards, and it was D's and F's. And I went to their mother. I said, "What the hell's going on here?" "Oh, they're so prejudiced, and they're this and they're that. And they're not going to let in. They were picking on Sean. Now they're picking on her." And I thought, no. So I said, all right. I said, I'm going to see what I can do about this. So I called the school, and I said, I need to address these F's and D's that my daughter's getting. She says, what I can do is set you up an appointment with all 4 of her major subjects teachers. And she says, I'll take and I'll set it up for you. And you can find out firsthand what. You heard me talking about you, didn't I?
I was wondering which one it was. Justine or Mary.
It's the one that just lit up there. And she says, well, unbeknownst to her at the time, she thought she could lie her way out of the stuff. And she told me about 5 days before this appointment, I'm doing better in math. I'm really, I took a math test and made it up. And okay, we got to the school. I stopped by and picked her mother up, and we go to the school. And we get in there, and I had no idea they were going to have Justine come down. Well, we get in her classroom, and I'm sitting in her desk. And I said, this science teacher gets up, and he says, that is the quietest human being I've ever heard. She doesn't say 2 words in my class. And then the math teacher gets up. And again, that is the quietest kid I've ever seen. I said, well, what about this math test she took and made up for you? He says, what? I said, this math test. He says, she didn't make nothing like that up. I can show you the grade book. Then he shows me the grade book, and the thing she was supposed to have taken, she didn't. So I said, all right. I said, I'll tell you what. I said, about this time, down comes Justine bopping into the room. And I walked up to meet her in there, or to meet her coming in the door. And I said, you lied to me. I said, you know better than to ever lie to me. And I got this look of sheer panic. And well, long story short, it wasn't any prejudice or anything like that. She just wasn't turning her homework in. And we got her on a program that I had to take, and her mother had to take and sign off on the homework, and then she took it to the school, and the school signed off. And this worked really well. She went from D's and F's to A's and B's overnight. But I'm sorry, Flora, but I don't believe that.
Huh?
I don't believe she's picking on me.
Oh.
So anyway, that's my story. You want to say anything to defend yourself, child?
I got nothing.
You gotta love it. Anyway, anybody else awake up there? Jeez, awful quiet in here. Where are you at tonight, Dale?
In Laredo, Texas.
Oh, cool. And Evan, where are you at?
I'm home. I'm home. Cooking up a storm.
That's pretty cool. What are we cooking?
Well, I think I told you this a couple of days ago. Actually, I told you this yesterday during our failed attempt to go on the air with the 4 Men on Sports show. I'm putting together what's called a full English breakfast, and it requires you have to fry a bunch of different things. You fry sausages, and you fry we call it Canadian bacon, but the rest of the world calls it back bacon. It's just a big pork chop, really. And let's see, what else did I do? Bangers, it's a different kind of sausage, blood sausage, all this stuff. It just takes a long time, and the thing that you have to do, especially if you're doing it the way I'm doing it, which is with a skillet. It's a stainless steel skillet. After you're done with it, you have to take care of it and maintain it. And in order to do that, typically you're going to have a stain on the skillet that you have to remove. So the way you do that is you pour water into the skillet, turn the turn the stove on, and bring it anywhere from medium to high, and you just start using a spatula or some other kitchen utensil, and you just work your way around the pan until all of the bits come off, and eventually they do, because it's set up that way. It's just that there's this last little bit of stuff that you have to take off, and you end up putting some soap in it and scrub it down. Eventually it comes clean, but it just takes a long time. And when you're doing 3 and 4 things that need to be fried like that, it takes a little while. So, but that's what I'm working on. I don't have it ready tonight. I'll probably do it in the next day or two, because I need a couple more things to finish the job.
And then you'll have food for the week?
I probably will. I'll have at least 3 meals, I figure, since I'm only making it for me.
I'll take some bangers and mash.
Yeah,
well, I'll have the bangers. I won't necessarily have the mash. That's not a traditional English, full English breakfast. You could add fried potatoes. You could add hash browns, but it's normally all the stuff I described, plus you add tomatoes and mushrooms. I don't have the mushrooms. I wanted to buy mushrooms at a farmer's market, but they had these pints, and I just need a couple, so I'll just buy them at the store instead. But it'll come together. It's really easy. You don't have to do a lot of complicated stuff. You just cook stuff, and it takes a while, and then you have to take care of your utensils. So other than that, I'm looking forward to it.
Throw out that stainless steel and go cast iron.
When we're done, I'm gonna go down to the kitchen. I'm gonna bring up and show you exactly what I'm working on. You don't throw out stainless steel. That just doesn't happen. Especially with the amount of money that was spent to buy the skillet in the first place.
Dale, do you travel around the United States? Do you have a camper? You go to different campsites, or is that did I make that up? I just was wondering.
He's an over-the-road trucker.
Oh, okay.
I'm a professional tourist.
Gotcha.
The thing is, I never get to the vacation spot. So I'm always driving around. And then I give up and go home for a week and try it again.
Sounds exciting.
I have seen quite a bit. I mean, when you think about it, excuse me, when you think about it, half of like a vacation is getting there.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been on 20 some years of vacations where I just never took the vacation.
Right, and you can write off the meals.
Yeah, there's benefits, and I didn't have to pay for any of the fuel.
Right. Yes. See?
So I mean, yeah, there's benefits. Yeah, I've been to every state except for Maine. I was about 13, 20 miles from the border of Maine at one point. And I've been to, let's see, British Columbia, around Whistler, not Whistler, south of Whistler, I can't remember the name of the town, Victoria, and without looking at the map, I can't remember the names, but it was the area around Victoria and south of Whistler where the Olympics were held. And I've been through all of the southern part of Ontario from about the Detroit all the way to Vermont. You don't really realize how big Canada doesn't look like a big country.
It's huge. It's huge. Yes.
But Ontario, the province, I can't remember exactly where it starts, but I think Ontario starts somewhere around Minnesota, North Dakota, goes all the way to Vermont. So I've been on all that over the years, and I'm getting hoarse for some reason. And I've been to Quebec City down through all the little burbs of Montreal, Dorval, St. Catharines, whatever.
Cool. So then you tried a signature dish while you were in each place?
Excuse me?
I said, have you tried a signature dish when you were in each place?
Yeah, sinuses. Yeah, I have my favorites, like poutine in Canada, which is an interesting dish. And you find out that just like everything else, people have their opinions. It's sort of like barbecue. You know, North Carolina barbecue is better than Texas barbecue. Texas says Texas barbecue is better than North Carolina barbecue. Well, apparently the same thing is with poutine.
Poutine. And then that the dish that you're making, that's the signature dish from England, or
That's right. My father is over there right now. He's visiting with his girlfriend. Now, it's a long story, but I've told everybody here in the crew about it. But I've been thinking about this for a while. But I read about a full English breakfast and just what it takes to put something together. And it's almost like putting together an Italian meal. You have to you have one of these old grannies who wakes up early in the morning. This full English breakfast seems to take almost as long. It seems.
Cool.
I'm okay with a bowl of cereal.
I was watching.
That's usually what I eat. I'm doing this just to see if I can pull it off. I think I will. It just takes a while.
I had Tim watching on TikTok. I was on TikTok and saw the trend right now is trying Russian food. Have you guys tried that? And it seems like it has like a lot of jelly based stuff, like meat mixed in jelly.
Yeah.
What sort of TikTok are you on? Because I only think I came across one Russian, and it was a whole fish inside a jelly.
Yes.
And the chicken was eating it.
Yeah, it's very common.
Yeah.
I'm on the southern side of TikTok. You know, your southern biscuits, fat people cooking.
I like your TikTok better.
Now that you said that, I'm gonna go on my TikTok later, and there's gonna be some fish and jelly, and this chick's gonna be eating. It took me a month to get off of that.
Tons.
Well, the reason I like English food is it's not very complicated to put together. It just, in this case, it just takes a long time because when you have 5 different items that go on a plate, it takes some time to put together.
So I got something funny for you guys. We took my son out to eat Friday for his birthday. My son's really big on sushi, and I was like, it's cool. Well, we go to this Chinese, like, all-you-can-eat kind of buffet place, and he gets crawfish. And I'm sitting back, and I lived down south for a while, and I was like thinking, there ain't no crawfish than fresh crawfish from Louisiana. And I'm like watching this kid try to eat this crawfish, and he put it in his mouth, and he's like, this is disgusting. And I'm like, again, you don't go to an all-you-can-eat Chinese buffet and get crawfish. You go south to Louisiana where they do boils, and you get crawfish out of that. You don't get crawfish from the north that comes in dead. And then
yeah, you don't want to leave the Chinese restaurant with food poisoning.
No. And then he was eating mussels. I was like, bro, I wouldn't eat the mussels from a Chinese restaurant either. He's like, why? I'm like, because you got to know if they're open or closed. And then he's telling me about how he went somewhere and there were closed mussels and he was forcing them open. I'm like, dude, those are dead. Like, dead. Like, you can't eat those. Like, they're dead. He's like, well, maybe that's why my stomach was hurting that night. I'm like,
oh, man.
I was looking up this poutine, Dale, but I don't think that I would try it.
It's one of those things.
I'm not looking at that no more. It's
fries and brown gravy and cheese curds.
Yeah. You see,
that's all it is.
It doesn't. But I mean, interrupt. I'm having my internet here is a little bit lagging a little bit at times, but there we go. Boy, I just love this weather. I go from different weather things, and my body never knows what it's doing. I go from like 90 degrees down to 50 degrees, up to 70 degrees, from like 7,000 feet elevation down to sea level. Yeah, it's fun. But yeah, poutine, that was one of those things where a lot of the stuff I didn't try, but at first, because I was just like you, I'm like, what's that? But since then, I'll get back to the poutine, but it's like since then, I've eaten catfish, I've had guacamole, okra, crawfish. That's a little too fishy for me. Yeah, until they told me that they're like pretty much like lobsters, they're scavengers. And the odd thing is, I like lobster, which is odd. So I don't know what, but anyways, back to the poutine. It wasn't until I started adding up the pieces to make the poutine. And like I worked for a company out of Wisconsin, actually two, but one was the headquarters. Well, actually both of them had their headquarters in Wisconsin. In any case, I worked for two companies that were in Wisconsin, but the one that I worked for, I was there more often than the other, if that made any sense. And they're called the cheeseheads for a reason. They love everything cheese. So curds. I'm like, isn't curds the thing that you discard when you're making cheese? And they're like, well, yes and no. I'm like, okay, I'm intrigued. And they said, curds are the byproducts of making cheese. And it's still cheese. It just hasn't done what it's done, what it needs to do to become cheese. Just to, not to belabor the point here and to get into the technical details. So they thought, well, we don't want to throw this stuff away. This is going back hundreds of years. We don't want to throw this stuff away. It's good stuff. So that's how we got cottage cheese. And then they said, if we start putting something in these curds, they're actually edible. So they, and you can actually eat raw curds. It's an acquired taste. It's pretty much like eating cheese, but it's got a little bit of a different flavor to them because they haven't fully cured, if you want to call it. So then it's like gravy. In the South, there's a lot of gravy. They like gravy on things in certain areas, and so like grits and what's that other sausage gravy, and stuff like that. So I learned, I'm like, oh, I like that. And so I would start eating it at restaurants. Well, now to get back to the poutine, I'm like, okay. And this is, I was going up through there I think I was going into Canada for like 2005, 6, 7, 6? Yeah, 2006 until about 2014. So what, about 8 years? So a few years later, after I've sampled all these other foods, I'm like, okay, I got this poutine again. I like cheese curds. I like gravy on stuff. I like French fries. Let's try them together. And yeah, if you're one of the ones that can, like, consistency of food is particular to you and the combinations of ones, yeah, I wouldn't eat the poutine because it's like you're eating something in gravy that's gooey mixed with French fries.
You had me, Dale. You had me into the gooey description.
I don't know how to, I'm not selling it right because I don't want to say that gooey, but I don't know how else to really explain it because, like, you've had, trying to think here, like, have you been to, like, down in, like, Carroll County or any of the Amish areas to get actual real cheese? Not that the stuff is buying.
You know what? No. I don't know why I've never done it. I've passed it many times. I've never done it. And I heard they have the best food, best cheese, best everything.
And I'm not
Best
saying
butter pie.
Yeah. I'm not saying that stuff you buy in the store isn't real cheese, but I mean, the way you're getting it literally out of the vat. You actually can see it being made.
You've got me thinking about that now. So what's the difference between large curd and small curd?
It's just how they cut it up. So, like, when he was talking about the curds, like, you can make your own at home. It's farmer's cheese. If you take all the curds off, squish them all together, do whatever you got to do real quick, it turns into farmer's cheese.
Yeah, because when they're making cheese, and are waiting for it to mix up, all the ingredients to mix up, and it starts forming into the cheese.
Total.
There's the curds that float to the top. Yeah, I don't want to get into how the whole cheese process, because I've already been into it. But it basically, I guess maybe this won't be as bad. Maybe spongy.
It's not bad.
It's not gooey. But it's like, I'm trying to think, because like you've had like Gouda. Have you had like Swiss cheese? Like, have you ever had the peony Swiss cheese, little sticks that you can get, the little snack things? It's sort of like that type of consistency, because one, the people up in Wisconsin told me is if you bite into the curd and it squeaks, you know it's fresh.
If it squeaks?
Oh man! So it doesn't melt. Like cheese curd doesn't have the capability of melting.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's one of those things where they can't sell this cheese because it's not cheese yet. It's a cheese product.
Okay. You gonna try it, Tim?
Nope.
You can get cheese curd.
So
no second thoughts about that, is there, Tim?
No, I'm lactose intolerant, so I'm gonna use that excuse when she starts to eat it.
Yeah, I can see that. But yeah, I go down to Hagee's. I'm not sure who's even still around anymore. But you go down to Carroll County.
Grandpa's cheese barn.
Yeah,
Grandpa's.
I was just thinking.
Got that over in Norton now.
Can you make the cheese there? Do they have like where you can pay to make cheese?
I don't know. I know you can watch it being made.
I want to make it.
Mozzarella, you can make it home.
Just don't cut it.
Oh, don't cut it. Why can't you cut it?
Don't cut the cheese.
Don't cut our cheese.
Don't cut.
You don't cut the cheese.
We need a drum roll, please.
Now, the funny thing about the cheese curds, if I took a chunk of cheese curd and I cut it up so that it's a square, and I get some Swiss, or I can get some cheddar, or maybe cheddar's not really a good example. Swiss, Gouda, any soft cheese. And I cut it into a cube and put two of them on the table, you would not be able to tell them apart. So it looks like cheese. It's not like it doesn't look like cheese. But there's going to be a texture and a slight taste difference. It's going to taste like cheese, but it's not going to have that sharp taste to it. It's going to, I don't even want to say it's like a sweet taste, but it's, yeah.
It might even have a little bit of a tangy taste to it, depending on how they made it. Because like I make farmer's cheese at my house, and so I either use lemon or I use vinegar to separate your buttermilk or whatever from your cheese curds. So depending on how you make it, it could be sweet with a little bit of tangy. So I don't think I would eat it on top of French fries with the description of gooey, but
well, it's good. You see, this is where the elitist and the traditionalists and that kind of spar, because there's different ways of preparing the poutine.
Yeah, I see the difference.
And if you're heating up the poutine, this is why I mistakenly said, gooey, because you heat something up, cheese has a low melting point. Fries get soggy. So that really wasn't that bad of a thing because, mashed potatoes. I mean, if you like mashed potatoes, that's not going to be a disgusting thing. But I don't even want to say cheese whiz because that's really an insult because you never want to mention anything like cheese whiz to a person that's from Wisconsin or a person that knows how to make cheese because that's a really big insult. And you also don't want to...
They still make cheese whiz?
Cheese whiz isn't cheese.
Oh.
How about the spray cheese in a can?
Oh, yeah.
Crackers.
That'll set them off. Yeah. That and chocolate milk and strawberry milk. And yeah, the only way to drink milk is to drink milk.
The only way I drink milk is through a milkshake.
I mean, that's traditional. Like
Canadian poutine with Irish poutine.
Oh, Irish poutine. I never heard of that.
Me either. Let me look it up.
It's alcohol.
Oh,
it's potato alcohol. Oh, like an Irish coffee then? So it's illegal, highly illegal to make in Ireland too.
Oh.
I was going to say, am I allowed to say one place that Dale did visit that might have been considered as a vacation?
You talking about Uranus?
Uh-huh.
Let's not go there.
Just to fill everybody in a little bit, there is a place in Missouri that's actually on Route 66. It's called Uranus. And we have had such a blast with that.
They have a fudge factory there.
Yeah, there's a guy in St. Roberts, Missouri, and it's about the 167, somewhere around their mile marker in Missouri. It's about 100 miles. Oh, or not. 200, no, I'm trying to think. From St. Roberts to St. Louis. St. Louis is what, 275, 270. Yeah, it's about 100 miles.
Where do we ever visit?
Uranus has their own TikTok, by the way.
Huh?
Uranus has their own TikTok, by the way.
Yeah.
I was going to try, excuse me, Dale, quick. I was going to try to get the mayor on one of the shows here. I actually talked to the dude, and he told me he'd get back to me. He never did, and I haven't been able to get a hold. I haven't really tried recently, but he made as much fun of that city as anybody I've ever seen.
Yeah, the guy. What is the finish the point here? Because I know I've rambled on too much.
Sorry.
My internet delay is killing me here with the when I think people are done speaking and they're not because their lips stop moving. But the short version, this guy in St. Roberts, Missouri, owned a whole bunch of land and wanted to incorporate it into a town because that's how cities start, towns start. And he had a bit of a sense of humor, and he wanted to call it Uranus, Missouri. And the state wasn't really interested in the people in St. Roberts, and I can't remember the name of the other town now, but I can't remember the name of the other towns. And so instead, he had a what's an adult related entertainment venue, and he thought, I'm going to turn this into a tourist destination.
A turd.
So he created the Uranus Fudge Factory. And you can throw axes in Uranus. You can pretty much see a bluegrass band called Uranus Pickers. You can pack fudge in Uranus.
Dale knows all about Uranus.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of fun you can have in Uranus.
Oh man,
I'm going to have to look it up on TikTok.
But Uranus is near Gas City, Indiana, and it's near Richmond, Indiana.
Oh,
sound like a South Park episode.
So my question is, if they eat cheese curds in Uranus, do you get backed up in Uranus?
I'm lactose intolerant.
I always wonder that about rats and mice. Do they get backed up because of all the cheese they eat?
That's something we all may not ever know.
Right. Fact for that, I just wrote it at my work. Fun fact: mice do not like cheese as much as people think.
Oh, really?
Oh. Okay.
All right. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I'm looking for that story I used to have on them.
Excuse me.
If I can find it, we'll have to play it.
It's been a while, dear.
Keep talking so I can keep looking here. Nobody gets bored.
You didn't like it when I talked.
I know. We ain't going there.
Well, let's see.
Well, happy anniversary, Justine.
Yeah.
Thank you. 23 years.
When's your anniversary?
It's today.
Oh, it's today? Mine's Wednesday or Thursday.
Happy anniversary.
26 years.
Okay.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's both longer than I've been alive, Tim.
I see Tim scratching his head. Like,
oh man, I got this splitting headache. It's like right in the front.
I was going to say, we need to say a happy belated birthday to Melanie and Tamia, because you both had the birthdays on the same day.
Yes.
Oh, birthday twins. Happy birthday.
Yes.
Never even realized we were birthday twins.
We didn't know. Yes.
Yeah, I'm 29 and holding.
I'll go with you. I'm right there with you then. I'll take 29.
You're 29 plus shipping and handling.
My headache just keeps resurfacing. Oh man.
No one would dispute
it. I wouldn't guess a day over 21, Tamia.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's
interesting.
I'm 40 plus 7.
I'm 50 for the 21st time.
Well, technically, they say once you turn 45, you can actually go back and you can start counting back. Because you come into the world in diapers and you leave in diapers. So halfway is 45.
I was wondering what's going on.
That's horrible news. Considering I'm 49.
Oh man.
Now. Okay, I'm turning 47, so hey.
Hey, that's better than 71.
I think everybody on this call is at that age.
I'm not. I haven't hit 45 yet. And that's real news. That's not a lie.
Oh, man.
Boy, this show sure went to hell in a handbasket.
How many of them do? Most of them.
Most of them, yeah. That's beside the point.
He was trying to keep it professional. That's why you noticed we all got kicked out. He was trying to have the room to himself.
Yeah, I had full of people and hit the wrong damn button and poof.
So I bet at the beginning of this, you didn't know that we was going to be talking so heavily about Uranus.
I've still got that.
I couldn't resist. I'm sorry.
I still got that episode of that. I ought to take and dig that out.
Take it out of your
Well, I risked my life.
Might smell kind of funny.
Short choice of words there, Pops.
So I risked my life to do an on-site video because
it's all Dale's fault.
There is a road ranger truck stop on the north side of the interstate, and that's where I parked the truck. This was Memorial Day weekend. I was there. I think was it Memorial Day or was it Labor Day?
Oh gosh.
I think it was Memorial Day because it was right before the summer.
Okay. So there's a truck stop that I parked the truck. And then there's this bridge that goes across Interstate 44, which sections of 44 is old US 66. Actually, the road that Uranus goes down is actually US 66.
And it
goes around, and it weaves in and out. And anyways, there's this bridge, and I'm trying to think of a bridge in Eris that would be an equivalent, and it's nothing bad, but I'm just saying, like, you know how our bridges that don't have sidewalks, but they do have a bit of a curb type thing. It's not wide enough to be a sidewalk, but it's not level with the road surface. You know, if you like going across, like if you ever gone back down Bookdale and crossed over Route 8, you see that section of concrete. Then you have the road surface. That's what I walked across to get on the other side of the interstate to get to Uranus. And there's, like I said, a truck stop. What do you think was a lot of traffic that was going across that bridge? Other semis. So I went across that bridge. And only reason I'm prefacing that is it's that wide. The structural part of the bridge that has the guardrail attached to it is that wide. And then there's a 14-foot drop. So I'm walking across this bridge that was technically not supposed to be walked across. The whole thing took me about 20 minutes to get there, walking. Because I had to walk across, I had to walk across a county road. Then I had to cross over an on-ramp. Then I crossed over the bridge, crossed over an off-ramp, went down Route 66, down past the hotel, past the Sunset View or Sunset Heights, I can't remember the name, apartments. Then you get to Uranus. But it was like a 20-minute walk to get over there. And then I actually walked around their whole property and then walked back.
I just pulled up the bridge.
Yeah, it's exit 167. You see the road ranger on the one side, and then you see it's the hotel, the Sunset something apartments, and then then
maybe this is. I don't know if this is because they call it the Devil's Elbow Bridge. Is that not it?
Are you looking on what, Google Maps, or where are you looking?
Google, just Google. I'm looking at the images on Google. Is it over like a little bit of water?
Let's see. Road Ranger Sage Roberts. I can spell. No. Okay, let me turn on the satellite. Okay, I don't know how I'm going to do this on my iPad here. Where the red pointy thing? Oh, actually, I can. Okay, I can see if I can figure this out. Up there is the truck stop, and then let me get the. They're actually working on that bridge now, so they don't have. Okay, so there's the truck stop, and I walk down. I walk down that part of the driveway to the road. Now, from the road, that is the bridge. And they've got it. Because last time I was through there a couple weeks ago, they were like not a couple weeks. I think it was.
Hi, I'm the thing from your ears.
There's. But anyways, that.
Yeah, he's trying to find.
I'm trying to find it now.
But from where you see that all the way down to here is where Uranus is.
Wow.
It actually is parallel to, because you can see it from 44. But yeah, from the red dot all the way down to where my finger is. From the top of my screen there, that red dot down to where my finger is. That's, and then Uranus is and let's see, I think I'm pretty sure they probably have Sunset Village of the Ozarks is the apartments.
I don't think I'd be wanting to live in Uranus. That'd be a little much. All right.
Well, I see there's this place called Escape Uranus. It says it's temporarily closed, though.
Oh, I work and I slave.
That is a picture of
yes.
this video.
Yeah, that's what I was on Google.
That's a video that's on the, if you go into Google Maps. And, but you'll be happy to know that Uranus is expanding. Yeah, you can. I think it's Gas City, near Gas City, Indiana. You have to think now. I'm not sure. Like, the guy is really cool. I've met him when we were, I couldn't really get, I could interview with him, but I not really like shake your hands, but it was more of like met him and like guy coming through. But I don't think he was on the video. I don't remember. Can I think? Oh, that was another time. Sorry. I got my things mixed up. That wasn't when I went there with the phone doing the video. That's what it was. But anyways, the guy's got a sense of humor to him. And you have to think that you want to expand your business. So you're looking across the country where you want to start your second business. You're looking around for all the towns, and you find a place in Indiana called Gas City.
Uranus, Missouri.
For a company called Uranus Fudge Factory. So yeah, that's evil genius right there.
Yeah, with you gotta have a little bit of money though, because in order to create something, and then you get mad that the mayor didn't want to agree to create a city, so you create your own.
Yeah, they didn't want
to roadside business.
Yeah, he got his revenge back.
Words came with us. Your pledge in hand.
Creating a tourist destination with that gaudy looking sign. Yeah, but there's a lot of money to make in Uranus.
I'm just keeping in all jokes.
Oh, you can cut loose, and we're all friends here.
Oh man.
You can try some at greatestschedulestore.com. Click now. That.
Actually, really good. Yeah, the fudge. I bet you it is really. Did you like the fudge, Dale, when you were there?
Oh yeah, it's very good.
I bet you it is.
Fudge for everyone. Right now, I make.
They're pretty good confectionery.
We actually ordered some from out there, and we got 2 big boxes of it. Stuff was a little.
It's not very cheap.
It wasn't very cheap, and it was pretty good.
It was good.
Yeah,
Spend another night in
little on the sweet side for me.
The birthplace of Greek.
I don't know how I would feel about eating fudge from Uranus.
There's nothing like having fudge packed in Uranus either.
Oh man,
that was one of the advertisements that I read from there.
Be a good Christmas gift. Now that I think about it,
you can actually, like I said, you can actually get on a mailing list for this. They sent me one free. That was when I was talking to the mayor.
Well, I thought that's what Dale brought you. Didn't he? Or no, when we ordered the fudge.
When we got the fudge,
Well, you have to think about these NASA people. You think they're like really dry, boring, and you have like the second largest gas giant in our universe. And they named it Uranus.
Reading the breaking news, we pushed a ton of fudge out of Uranus.
A record amount of fudge has come out of Uranus.
Uranus got even brighter wieners and things in Uranus. I got to put that down.
You should listen to her.
One of my favorite ones has got to be the Bluegrass Band, because
Uranus pickers.
Uranus pickers.
You never thought when I got a hold of you that you'd be coming into this, did you?
I'm loving it.
I'm telling you.
But Pat's going to have to replay that part of the show.
I'm going to have to dig that up. I know I've got that. I would have never got rid of it.
Because we're missing some of the other sayings because I was walking by and,
That it has to be on one of the other drives I've got over there. Anyway, you all right, lady?
I need to take my one too.
That's what life comes to, is taking pills. Boy, should I know that. Anyway, we got about 8 more minutes, and I think that'll be our 2 hours. While I'm thinking about it,
sold out.
Tamia, how do people get a hold of you?
So you can get a hold of us through our website at www.letsdifj.org. That's www.letsdoitforjames.org. You can email us at doitforjamesfoundation@gmail.com. You can visit our website, our Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, LinkedIn, and YouTube. All are under Do It for James Foundation. And we keep our current events. We currently average between 100 and 120 events a year, partnered with 13 different states and 7 countries. So we're always trying to do something, spread the word, do what we can to help out, use our resources when we can, and do some good out here in life to help save other kids.
Yeah, if there's anything we can ever do, just let us know. Give me some. I think the web link that I got is still active because I looked at that the other night.
Yes, it should be.
And I'll see if I can get it posted on some of the Facebook pages I've got. That should give you a couple more people to look at it. And yeah, I hate to bring this to a close. This was a lot of fun. What'd you think?
Yes, always.
Evan, you've been awfully quiet.
I'm just listening to all the jokes. I can't come up with anything else. You guys have taken them all.
Oh man, you got to think. It's a lot out there.
I was going to say poor Christy coming into this stuff. And
No. It's cool because I honestly, when you guys were talking about Uranus, I kept thinking about this thing that I read, and when you guys were talking about like looking for another place, I was like, why not look for a place named after a raccoon? Because there was something that I read that said your anus can stretch to like the sizes of like 3 raccoons. So no, you guys are good.
Well,
I will say that anytime you guys want to come back in, you're more than welcome. It's been a blast having you. You got the email that I sent you, or the Facebook stuff. That's the key to this room. So if you ever want to join us, just let me know and just figure on using that to get in. These shows that we do on Sunday night are usually a couple hours long, even though I say it's an hour and a half. But it turns out being a lot of fun most of the time. We do a thing on Monday nights, which is going to be tomorrow's going to be Monday afternoon, where we argue about politics. My son-in-law and I argue about. I've known him for 26 years, Justine.
27.
27. And him and I argue all the time. But when we walk away, it's just like we were talking. And we don't think bad about either one of our opinions, because that's just what they are. But tomorrow we're gonna cover the shutdown of the government and the supposedly not taking away any of people's rights to Medicaid or Medicare. What started this with me, I had a doctor's appointment Thursday, I think Wednesday. I got a call from him the day before saying, since the government's closed, you're not going to be able to get your payment or your appointment's not going to be covered. We don't think we can get it paid for. And some of the other lies that I've heard in the last couple of weeks. We get together every other week to do that one. And that gives it, when there's something that happens, it gives it a little time to shake out. And we talk about it then. That'll be probably tomorrow's subject anyway, biggest part of it. The other show that we do is an amateur radio show, which we did just last week, where we're going to teach people how to get their licenses and what amateur radio is all about, which is actually there's Justine's a ham, Keith is a ham, Dale is, and Flora and I are, and Flora's daughter is. So, that was kind of the premise when we put this together. And I wanted to show, when we put Radioactive together, I wanted to show, it showed that we weren't all just a bunch of nerds. We have opinions about stuff and everything like that.
I'm no nerd.
But that's why sometimes we have to run disclaimers in that, because it gets a little raw, I guess.
Speak for yourself. Where's my pocket protector?
I can lend you one. Anyway, let's see what we got here. Let's give it another 5 minutes. What else are we going to talk about?
Well, you guys said that you're nerds. Your word, not mine. What specifically do you guys talk about besides politics that would classify you in the nerd category?
Well, the show itself, actually, this one actually covers stuff as long as it isn't political. We do product reviews sometimes. We do life's changes and stuff like that. We've had we covered some of the flooding back that was down in Texas there. And what else have we covered, Flora?
I'll tell you something we did cover. Those speed cameras.
Yeah,
that
just
got me in by police. That is a real
around 303.
Yep.
So here's the question I have with the speed cameras. Do you have to pay those fees?
No.
So how do you get out of it?
You don't. It goes to your credit. Well, the last time I knew, it goes to your credit.
Oh, no, can't do it.
I knew I was a year behind Kim Hoover in high school. And Kim Hoover was a judge from Stowe. He got pretty much kicked out because of some dealings that he had. But he was the one that was kind of in the forefront of all that. And those things were just a stinking money grab. And myself, we actually had the Gaelics on, Ed and Peggy. And we discussed all of them for almost the whole show. And that was another really nice couple. They very professional is the way they worked. But I got some stuff from her that nobody else knew. We had heard that there was they were being led by that, I can't remember, I think it was Bratnall, by the guy out there who owned the company that was putting the speed cams up and collecting the money.
Wasn't it like the mayor? Was it the mayor or somebody that was part of Peninsula or Independence or whatever that actually owned that camera? Yeah.
I thought it was like Middleburg Heights or something like that.
Something like
Garfield. It probably is Garfield Heights. I shouldn't say I paid a Technically, I've only had one, but they think I've had two because Tim got a ticket in my car.
Uh-oh. Yeah.
But it was, they charged $180.
Yeah, that's, if this was before they changed the rules of it, if you wanted to fight that, it was an extra $100 that you didn't get back.
Whoa!
It was $200.
Yeah,
that was the argument. Talking about that was the argument was that you would have to, if you were going to contest the fine, you would have to pay a certain amount up front. Yeah.
Well, I had talked to a couple of my sources about that, and then the Gaelics pretty much confirmed what I knew, and the whole thing was coming down to, it was just one big money grab, and it was unfair as all get out. Well, the way it turned out, there was a place in the Midwest that was a lawyer conglomerate, and they caught wind of that and wrote Judge Hoover and said, by no uncertain terms, if you charge $1, we're going to sue the pants off of you. And all of a sudden, Kim read that thing, and it was like, hands off. And all of a sudden, the rulings got changed. And then there was a guy, this one might have been the Middleburg Heights guy. He actually got into, he was in the Ohio Senate, I think. And he pushed for the changes that took all that money away from him. Every time you got a ticket, the place that had the camera up got 40% of it, and you got 60%. And it was a windfall for somebody somewhere like Peninsula, which was they were pulling over 10 or 15 cars a day. Now times 306 months, figure out what that is. That's a lot of damn money, and it was a windfall. And that's why Peninsula wanted it all there. Well, it ain't now because they've stripped it all out. And that's why you don't hear much about it anymore.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I know Bedford Heights still has one. Garfield Heights, they have it like if you're going down 480 and it's under that bridge, right when you touch Garfield Heights, it's 2 cameras there. That's how they catch you. But I don't know how they're able to catch everybody because it's 4 different lanes.
Well, it's not a chargeable offense. That's the only thing, because there's no officer there to actually.
It's entrapment.
Yeah. I don't fight it. I just pay it because I have a company car and I don't want to
that's a lot.
Deal with that. Yeah.
I don't think I'd want to either.
I got one of those speeding tickets in Iowa when we lived over there. They had on the highway, it was on the back side of one of the like the exit signs, like say Martin Luther King Boulevard, exit 5 or whatever. I was doing 71 in a 60 because my patient had just passed away and I wanted to be there for his wife. And yeah, they got me. And you can't really fight those because they clearly got my license plate number. They got my face. They got everything.
But how could they prove how fast you were going?
If it's
when was the last time that was calibrated too?
Right.
Exactly. I got one coming out of Acme parking lot one night over there by Hire. And the thing of it was, the thing that tripped it off, there was a car that tripped it off, was going the other direction, and it got me instead. I had just pulled out of Acme. I was doing about 8 miles an hour because I knew that thing was there. All of a sudden, I see this flashing light. 2 weeks later, I get a ticket. And it's just not fair. Yeah.
We were forced to pay. We went to Washington, D.C. for an event. We did. We got an award from the FBI too of the work that we're doing, and we were down there in Washington, D.C. And we had pulled over because our two grandmothers were there, 88 years old. So we pull over and drop them off because we're not going to make them walk from the
whatever
parking garage, And but we had the rental car, and they ended up charging the rental car the ticket, saying we parked illegally when we were just dropping them off. But by the time we got to it, by the time the ticket got to us, it was like what? 8 months later or something,
almost a year,
and we were bullied into paying it.
That's something else.
Mm-hmm.
Just between you and I think things will change after the midterm elections here. At least you got to hope they do.
I hope.
This guy's just out of control. Anyway, I think that we can go ahead and wrap on that. Really, guys, it was a blast having you two. And
thank you,
Christy. It was fun having you too. You're always more than welcome back in our door here.
Oh, well, thank you.
If you ever get a free time, just give me a text. You're coming in. We'll see you when you get in there.
If y'all just want to have an entertaining Sunday evening, just join us.
Yeah.
Well, we thank you guys for having us be a part of your evening.
Yes. And Christy, if you could email us, so that I want to do a couple of things on the back end and see if I can get you some more resources your way.
Where am I going to email you guys at? Give me 1 second. Hold on. I don't have my eyeglasses on. Hold on.
Here's mine. You want to borrow mine?
Yeah, we'll borrow right through. Here, Pete, I'm just going to text it in here. Okay. How do you spell it?
It's just Do It For James Foundation at gmail.com.
I'll have Keith double check my spelling.
Okay. Come on now. You got an education. You can spell Do It For James Foundation.
I have an education. I don't have eyesight. There's a difference.
Oh. Let me see. Hold on. It just came through. Let me put my glasses on. Do It For James Foundation. Gee, that looks right to me.
Yep, I got a couple of other. I got a couple of people that Tim or I will reach out to and see if we can, even if it's for education, where they could steer you the right way on going after different things. I think anything will help in that matter.
Well, I will throw you an email tomorrow.
Okay.
At some point in time tomorrow.
Yep, no rush, because we got to work too, so no rush.
When Pat told me you guys were on, and then they got the call from Christy later in the week, it's like, what timing is this? To put you two together like this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, glad to do it.
God works in mysterious ways.
Yes, he does.
Yep. Hopefully we can help you out, Christine. I will say we've helped a lot of people. So I'm hoping we can help you too.
Oh, well, I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
All righty. All right, then let's go ahead and close this up for tonight. As I said, it's been a blast, you guys. We need to do this again. And you're always welcome. Even on Saturday morning, Tim, if you want to come in and hit a sports show, I know you'll like our opinions.
What time do you get on?
It's
on Saturday?
Usually about 11 to 12.
11 to 12?
Sometimes we start a little late because people have trouble getting there, or I have some technical issues or something. But you're always welcome. And
we'll see what happens.
Anybody else?
And make sure we don't talk about Uranus on Saturday.
All right. Anybody else want to say goodbye? Going once?
So long.
Farewell. I'll be there.
All right.
All right.
Thanks,
Thank you,
guys.
everyone.
Thanks again, guys. We'll see y'all. And by the way, the room will stay open. If anybody wants to talk over there, we can just stay in the room. I'll leave it up. We'll come over there and maybe talk. 7-3, y'all. We out of here.
We hope you enjoyed this presentation of Radioactive by the Crooked River Radio Network. See you again soon.